All right, Nate, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. I have a question for you to get stuff going, get your mind flowing for our episode. Okay, so we may have talked about this before, but now I'll just get a clear answer. I think you mentioned to me about The Box with Cameron Diaz and James Marsden. Did you see that one?
Oh, no.
You have not seen that one?
No, I saw the short film, The Box.
Okay, that's fine, but we never talked about the movie The Box.
We've talked about it briefly. I've never seen it, but I know what it's about, and I know how it ends.
Okay, that's totally fine. Mine's a simple question. Would you push the button?
Yeah, I feel like you've asked me this question before.
I know, that's why I'm like, but I'm curious. Did I ask you on the show?
Yeah.
I did?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you did.
That sucks. I can't remember.
But I don't even remember what my answer was.
I know.
I feel like I said no, but it's like, so in the movie, I mean, they don't know everything that's going to happen after that. It's like they know that somebody's going to die.
That's it.
But it's nobody that they know. But then it came back on them. So it's like, you know what? No. I would not push the button because, man, that shit just has ripples. I don't want to kill anybody, but it's like still that little comfortable idea of someone that I don't know just kicking the bucket. It'll still come back to me.
Paid. You don't have to worry about money anymore.
Yeah, because I'll probably be dead soon. Because then they're gonna just give someone else a box and I'll die. It don't matter.
Yeah, I wouldn't push it either.
I mean, you know, I'm not a vengeful person, so
yeah.
I just feel like you kind of have to like have something like in the back of your mind where you're like, I want to push that button. I want to know, am I going to turn on Channel 5 News tonight and be like, oh my God, the bus driver died, just dropped dead. Yeah, I'm not here for that.
Okay, so there you have it. Bitch, I ain't scared. The Fool and the Scholar won't be pushing buttons anytime soon.
I mean, there are some buttons that, you know, I don't mind pushing. Happy holidays, Rob.
Yes, happy holidays.
Welcome to Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa dawn. It's the Yule season. There's so many different things. And you know what? Beyond movies, there are some weird, freaky shit that happens around the holiday season.
Yeah.
At least traditionally. But I think, as is sometimes the case, I am trying not to be basic. Even though that's also my fallback.
That should be an everyday goal, so keep at it.
Thanks. But for this holiday special, we're going to be extra festive, like Mariah Carey's completely unnecessary revamped holiday album. And we're not going to be basic. At least I'm not going to be basic.
I'm never basic.
You're never basic.
Ever.
Rob, so we don't even have to worry about it.
I know.
But I just thought I would bring some things to the table. So I, dipped my fingers into Google and it responded well. And I'm going to talk to you about a few things that I came across.
Let's hear it.
I think by now everyone, for the most part, has heard of Krampus. They kind of know what it is, and there's a variation of different myths connected to it. But essentially, Krampus, he's like the anti-Santa Claus. Sometimes he works with them, sometimes he works against him. But for the most part, he punishes children who misbehave.
I just read something that he actually rides along with Santa.
Right, so
I didn't know that.
Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, that's the first time I had heard that. I thought he just did his own thing.
And there is the demonic variation, where and even sometimes they're like, it's the devil, But sometimes there's this strange thing, and they still do it in Dutch territory, I don't know, where, people put on blackface, and he's Black Peter, literally. And there's a whole bunch of racist shit that goes on with that. It's not even like, they used to say he's covered in soot. Nope. If you go look at it, they were actually saying that Black Peter's a black person. But we all know about Krampus. He punishes children. Sometimes he beats them with a birch rod. He puts them in a sack. He carries them off to Spain. I don't know. There's like some really crazy things. I don't know why he took them to Spain. I think there was, at the time, it was like they were at war with Spain.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, that's the last place you want to be. If you don't behave, we're sending your ass to Spain. I don't know why. There's also a creature, and I think this one is Icelandic. I'm going to try to pronounce this name. It is the Holokoturin.
Okay, with that accent?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best I can do because I'm not from Iceland. Our friends from Iceland went home, so, we can't ask them. But this is the Yule cat. And the Yule cat is kind of this beastly cat that... I'm sorry, it's just kind of funny.
Is it the size of a cat?
No, I think it's slightly bigger. But what it does is... if you are poorly dressed, it'll fuck you up.
For the holidays?
Yeah.
What's poorly dressed?
So, if you're just shabby, if it doesn't like what you're wearing. So this cat is like a fashionista.
Oh, God.
And, I think they also said they created it where it was like a classism thing because it's like, oh, the poor people are obviously going to be a little shabbier, a little more reserved. They just can't participate in that kind of clothing. So that's where it's also rooted.
Okay.
Classism. But I just thought this cat was ridiculous.
I have never heard of that.
Neither have I.
So funny.
But yeah, so if you have no fashion sense, probably best to stay indoors.
And what does the cat do to you?
So there's a lot of different stuff. So it says to encourage children to work hard, parents told the tale of the Yule cat, saying that the Yule cat could tell who the lazy children were because they did not have at least one new item of clothing for Christmas.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, you're wearing your old clothes. You must be lazy. Again, it's like, oh, you're poor. You must be lazy. Look at how you're dressed.
So it's to keep those kids in line. I see.
And these children will be sacrificed to the Yule cat. So this reminder tends to spur children into doing their chores.
Okay.
There it is. Also, there's another character called Belsnickel, which is very similar to Krampus, in my opinion, but it's this dirty-looking guy who chases after kids with a whip, and he, hits them.
That just, the image in my head, I'm sorry, it immediately just went to some kinky shit. That's so funny.
He doesn't look kinky. There's also a witch. Well, she looks like a witch. Her name is Frau Perta, and she's known in Germany and Austria. And she punishes the sinful. She'll rip out your internal organs and replace them with garbage. Gives new meaning to hot trash.
Jesus.
Yes. And apparently she's descended from a legendary alpine goddess of nature. And she tends the forest most of the year, and then she deals with humans only during Christmas. But yeah, it's a lot of things out there to worry about besides Krampus.
Now, I don't know if you looked this up or not, but do these countries also have the good Yule person?
I didn't look
representative.
That up.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure you didn't, but I'm wondering if
I think
they have that kind of stuff too.
These are all Christian countries,
yeah,
predominantly. So these are all rooted in the Christendom, and so it's they all have Santa Claus,
yeah,
whatever they want to call him.
Okay,
Saint Nick.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Sinterklaas.
Yeah, thanks for keeping it real. We only want villains.
Today. I think I did come across another one, but I was like, skip. I'm not gonna look at it. Although I did come across one, and it might be cute to some people, but it's not cute to me. So apparently, I have to look this one up. I have to make sure I say the right thing. So, our Christmas decorations are kind of like stars, and it's like, oh, the star, we know where that comes from, the North Star, and bells and angels and all those things. You put those on the tree, wreaths and holly. They all are rooted in something, but there's a very unusual, in my opinion, decoration that is utilized by, where are they? In the Ukraine, you will find a lot of spider decorations.
Really?
And spider webs.
Ew.
And they put that on their trees. Like, you know, they'll be pretty. Like, they'll be covered in glitter.
Yeah.
Like, just like here. But I didn't really appreciate that. But I guess it's part of a legend where there was this poor widow, and I don't know, she either had 65 kids or 16 or 6. It's 6 something. She had a lot of kids.
Yeah.
But we'll go with 16. That sounds like the nice median. And, you know, they couldn't afford shit. They're living out in the forest. They don't have any money. It's like, oh, so sad. And then this spider sees them on Christmas Eve just in their little sad house, and they're just spending the night together, just trying to enjoy each other's company. And the spider's like, oh, this poor family. I know. I'll decorate this tree for them. So when they come out in the morning, the tree is sparkling because it has the spider webs and it's covered in all the dew. And it's like, oh, the spider's so nice to us. Thank you. So, you know, it's like trying to like put spiders in a positive light, I guess.
We will see a movie in 2019.
I'm not seeing that. But I just thought it was good to note all of these strange
That is really
things.
interesting. I've never heard of any of these. That cat, though, is fierce.
Oh, and one ridiculous thing. It's not really scary, but Night of the Radishes is something that happens in Mexico. And they, you know, like we carve pumpkins on Halloween here, but they carve up radishes and they make a lot of different art.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny.
Night of the Radishes.
Yeah. I don't know why they do it.
You wonder if people look at us in the U.S. and be like, some fat ass white dude giving presents to people. Who the, like, what are they? You know, like, we probably are just as ridiculous.
Flying reindeer?
I know.
And one of them has a glowing nose? What is it made of?
He's on that stuff.
It's very true. Did you know, and this is something that has bothered me, because we have a lot of Christmas slasher films. Santa's always just going off and killing people. It's terrible, but also funny. Mm-hmm. There haven't been any other winter holiday themed horror films. Have you noticed that?
Ones that don't involve Santa,
Christmas.
you mean? Oh, just...
No Christmas. So
you're saying
Hanukkah.
just non-holiday, like...
There's no Hanukkah horror films, at least yet.
Yeah.
So I tried to look something up, and I got some information. It's misleading and it's hard to understand, but apparently there is a slasher film in the works.
Okay.
They've been working on it for a while. Simply called Hanukkah.
Okay.
I don't know if they've actually finished and it's just this really low budget thing that I can't watch, or if they're still working on it, because I went to IMDb and it didn't have a date, and it was IMDb Pro, which you have to pay for to get the details, and I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah.
Later. But I was like, oh, all right, well, that's something. I'm not saying that it would be this brilliant piece of work, but all the other holidays are kind of left out, you know.
I mean, we'll see if it just takes place during Hanukkah or if it's incorporated into the story.
You know, and I think, so the story, what little they give me, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the son of someone who apparently was crazy, like a serial killer. And he was known as like, oh God, I can't remember now. It was like the Hanukkah slasher or something. He also snaps and decides to go on a killing spree during the 8 nights of Hanukkah. This is coming from someone named Ibn Migar. Doesn't sound Jewish, so I don't know.
You sure you're not just saying Ewan McGregor?
It's not Ewan McGregor. Jesus. House of the Wolf Man. That's the movie that he is responsible for. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
But he is trying to get Hanukkah off and running. At least he was in 2010. The thing I just saw on IMDb, that looks new. So it's like, I don't know if this has happened yet or not. It's like, how hard can it be to put together a Hanukkah slasher film?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm totally off. But anyway, so synopsis. Obadiah Lazarus is the son of Judah Lazarus, the original Hanukkah killer. Haha. So his dad went on a killing spree in the 80s, and Obadiah decides on the 8th night he's going to kill people because it's God's will. Like Abraham sacrificed Isaac, and he's going to kill people based on, different, like, things that you're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
If you are of Jewish faith, then you shouldn't be participating in certain activities. And so that's when he, goes after a group of Jewish teens, and he starts killing them. The teens, they're just so terrible.
His parents can't do nothing wrong.
Well, I'm sure the parents will be guilty of something by the end of the movie.
Well, good for him for trying something new and different.
So I don't know if this is actually finished or if they're still working on it.
Yeah.
But maybe it was something that was like a passion project and then it just never came to fruition and it's just still listed on IMDb. But either way, I thought, oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Still haven't seen it. I don't know if we ever will.
Yeah.
And Kwanzaa, Ramadan, there's just nothing. There's nothing connected to these holidays. I tried to find some, and I did come up with one thing, which was kind of unfortunate. But, Kwanzaa, I was trying to see, again, totally ignorant. I don't celebrate Kwanzaa, so I don't know. But I was trying to see if there were certain characters or folklore connected to the celebration. And I couldn't really find anything. There's not like some sort of like evil spirit that's going to come if you don't light the fourth candle by, I don't know. There's nothing like that. But I came up with one thing and it was like, oh, come celebrate the spooky side of the holidays. Ghost, St. Nicholas, Der Belsnickel, oh, here he is again, and other characters haunt these stories that take place around the holidays. We've also included a couple of ghost stories from the African American tradition for folks to read during Kwanzaa. And I was like, okay, all right, so maybe this is like a story about Kwanzaa or just takes place during Kwanzaa. Let me check these out. Well, unfortunately, no. The first story is called Wait Until Emmett Comes. And the second one is called, and I cringe, Never Mind Them Watermelons.
What?
And I was like, oh, all right, well, let me just go a little further and see about this author. So the author's name is S.E. Schlosser. Schlosser? Doesn't matter. But Sandy, that's her name, is white as white can be. And she had the nerve to write a story called Never Mind Them Watermelons about some black people. And it has nothing to do with Kwanzaa. And I was just like, oh, God damn it. This is the search results I had for horror around Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
That is pretty horrible.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's a little unfortunate.
It's a lot unfortunate.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're probably never going to see any sort of like Kwanzaa horror themed anything.
Probably not. There are just some things that just may not work for the genre. I'm okay with that.
I don't think that would work for the genre.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure like Hanukkah would work.
We'll just see. Yeah, I'll be curious if somebody can come up with a good reason.
But
yeah.
It was fun either way. Kept me entertained. Hope you enjoyed that.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for that Hanukkah movie. I'm sure that some news will come up, hopefully in the near future, now that we've talked about it. Because you know how that works. We learn something, and all of a sudden it's just an everyday's news. So
yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
It is regarding Gremlins. Do you believe that Gremlins is a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So I read something.
Oh, I saw.
You did.
I didn't read it.
Okay, so I read it.
Not today,
and he pointed out some things, not to say that his points make it not a Christmas movie, but it raises discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that a Christmas themed movie, and we'll keep it horror for our show, but for a Christmas movie, he considers it a Christmas movie if Christmas, the holiday, is embedded in the movie. Like it has something to do with the story. So like a story about a killer Santa. Yes, that is a Christmas themed horror movie, because if it didn't happen on Christmas, the whole movie would turn to shit. There's no way around it. Gremlins did not need the holidays to be Gremlins. He got Gizmo not as a Christmas gift, but as a birthday gift. And it just so happened to be Christmas when all of this was happening. The Gremlins did do a little caroling, but again, was that really needed? This movie could have gone and done the same impact without the holiday. So that was one of his biggest points as to why he says that this is not a Christmas-themed horror movie. So it's something to really think about, because even in non-horror, there are movies like Die Hard, and like, I posted something on my movie page about Batman Returns being one of the best Christmas movies I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say that is because the holidays are just kind of a character in itself, but it has nothing to do with the story. So you just got to wonder, are these movies not Christmas films because Christmas isn't the subject?
I think that's when we take it a little too seriously. So it's a Christmas movie for me. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie for me.
That's
even
interesting.
Though it takes
so why
place on Christmas? I mean, it's not something I'm going to watch on Christmas. Batman Returns, it's flexible. It's a Christmas movie, and it's not, because it's Batman. Gremlins is Gremlins, but it takes place on Christmas, and they are out there in the snow, the little caroling, snow plow going through the house. I mean, there's a lot of elements that wouldn't happen. It would be different. But I think it's like taking it way too far to be like, oh, these things aren't Christmas movies. It's like, well, it's a Christmas movie for somebody.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, I mean, obviously the public has turned it into one of those things where, some people will look at Gremlins and be like, this is a movie that I break out every year for Christmas because of yada yada. And then there was the whole debate about Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? And we've established it's a Halloween movie, but a lot of people associate it with Christmas, and they're like, let's watch it on Christmas and all that stuff. So I just thought it would be interesting to get your opinion on it. I do see the author's points, and it does make me think back on some other movies that kind of fall under that same spectrum. However, Christmas is pretty predominant in the Gremlins movie. It may not have been needed in order for the movie plot to drive, but Christmas is all over the place in that movie.
So
there's an attempted kill in a Christmas tree, and there again there's the caroling, and then the Christmas story about Santa coming down the chimney and all this stuff. So I mean, they made it a part of. I mean, I don't think the people in the movie forgot it was Christmas. Yeah. So
I'll ask you this question: is Halloween a Halloween movie?
Yeah, exactly.
We could change the title. We could put it on a totally different day. Sure, he could run around in a mask, and then it wouldn't be a Halloween movie.
Wasn't the original title didn't even have anything Halloween in it? I could have swore I read something about that.
Maybe.
But yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, well, it is set on Halloween, and there are kids trick-or-treating, and it's a big staple around Halloween now.
The holiday didn't trigger Michael to kill anybody, though. No. So Halloween has nothing to do with his psyche.
It has nothing to do with it. Now it's like 40 years later, we are all like, yes, Halloween is a Halloween movie, and it's very embedded in our tradition.
Yeah.
But I think it's just too much. It's too much trouble to be like, this is not a Christmas movie, or this is a Christmas movie, or that it's like, either you want to watch it or you don't. I think those are interesting points. Yeah. But yeah, it does take place on Christmas, and someone is almost killed by a Christmas tree, and it's just,
yeah.
It's too much, people.
All right.
It's too much.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion about that. I read that and I thought that was interesting, so
I have a question for you.
All right.
Would you rather be given a kiss so mind-blowingly icy that it turns you into a block of ice immediately, or be beaten to death by a birch rod?
Jesus, by a who?
A birch rod.
What the hell is that?
It's a very firm piece of wood.
These options have nothing to do with each other.
They actually do, sweetness, and I will tell you, but you have to pick one.
Hold on, I gotta look up birch rod really quick and figure out if I want to be beaten with this thing. Now, I'm sorry, tell me again. Oh, Jesus. Tell me again how long I'm getting beaten by this thing.
Until you die.
Oh, so I'm dying either way.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out how I want to go.
Yeah, you want to... Well, the other one's pretty instant. You're going to turn into a block of ice.
Okay.
I don't know how that would feel to turn into a block of ice.
Well, I'm just saying, it seems that getting the beat down would be a lot painful and more agonizing, torturous. The kiss is just so icy. I thought that was like some term, and then no, it's literal. I turned into ice. Well, is there a chance that I'll be thawed out and can still live? No. And where am I getting beaten with the rod? Like in my face, on my body, till I die? These are very important questions.
I mean, I think it's a free-for-all. Like,
oh, so they can hit me wherever.
They're trying to...
Okay. Well, I mean, when I do go, I would like it to be as painless as possible. So I'm going to go with the ice.
Okay.
Okay.
These are two different mythologies from Black Peter.
Oh, okay.
So there was one mythology, and this was a story I read when I was a kid, and it had nothing to do with Black Peter. It was Jack Frost. I think I told you the story, maybe.
Maybe.
And I might have even told it on the show.
Here we go.
But here we are. Doesn't matter. It's like that Xena episode where they just completely recycled old footage.
I try and make note of everything that we talk about to make sure, but
it's fine. It's totally fine. Totes. So this girl is thrown out into the snow by her stepmother and stepsister, and they're like, "We hate you. Go into the woods and die," basically. And she's sad. And then Jack Frost comes upon her and he's like, "What would you like? You have one wish. What would you like? I'll give you whatever you want." And she says, "I wish to die." Because she's just so sad.
Yeah.
And he falls in love with her and he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "I'm going to give you everything." So he just gives her jewels and nice furs and all of these beautiful, expensive things.
She a label hoe. Okay.
And she runs back to her stepmother and stepsister. She's like, "Oh my God, look at all these gifts that I was given. Oh, and I want to share them with you." And they're like, "Oh, how nice. Gucci, come back inside. This is great. We love you." So then the stepmother's like, "All right," to her real daughter, "You can go outside and find this Jack character. And, we're going to come
Did the same thing, yeah.
So she goes out there, and of course she finds Jack Frost, and he's like, "What would you like?" She's like, "Oh, well, I want this, I want this, I want a Mercedes-Benz, I want 5,000.
So she didn't know how she accumulated all this stuff, so she went out there and just
so he was like, "I'm going to give you a kiss." And she turns into ice like that.
Oh, man.
And her last breath freezes on her lips. Yes. So that was one of the myths, because then I read it when I was doing research years ago. And I was like, oh, this is the story I read, but it's Black Peter instead. And the birch rod is one of the things that he carries around. He carries a burlap sack to capture the children, carry them off to wherever.
Yeah.
And a birch rod that he beats the children with. A birch rod is a very sturdy piece of wood.
I saw the picture.
It's not going to snap.
Well, technically in black culture, yeah, we're kind of used to that kind of shit, but that looked real painful. We only get one. That had
switch,
like many.
Not a branch.
Yes, exactly.
You'll get a log. What?
I know.
I'm moving out.
Okay, no, I've never heard of that. It's interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll take the kiss. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
You're a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I really wish you had seen Krampus because I wanted to also debate with you about the ending.
I mean, I saw enough of it.
But did you just watch the ending?
I saw the ending.
Okay, then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Don't waste your time watching it.
Should I give you sort of the options or choices of theories about what you saw, or do I just ask you straight up how do you define the ending? What did you see?
I can answer your question.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. I mean, they were trapped in a snow globe.
I've heard different explanations, but that's your thing.
But I also don't care that much.
No, but I'm still going to talk to you about it.
No, we can talk about it, but I don't like the movie, okay?
Yeah.
I'm very bitter about it.
So you believe they were all trapped in a snow globe?
I mean, it was like they were, it was like basically hell, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Okay, their version
that
of
was
hell.
their punishment for being assholes earlier, even though they tried to come together.
And then the camera pans out and you see
all the other snow globes. So these are all other people. I don't know if you said there was like a snow globe depicting another house.
Yeah, there was another famous house in there.
Like, what was it, Nightmare on Elm Street or something?
It was either Nightmare on Elm Street or it was the not the Amityville house. It might have been. I
mean, those are the two most notable houses I can think of.
Yeah, there was another one supposed to be in there. Well, so there was also this theory about them being in a time loop. I think they're dead or whatever. But then I also heard a theory that they are alive, everything's been rewound or erased, and they get the Christmas day again, and they look at the camera because they get this feeling that somebody's watching them. So the snow globes are conduits. They're like windows for him to watch over all of these families that he previously punished to make sure that they are upholding the Christmas spirit. So they're not dead, they're not in hell, they're just being watched. So I thought that was really interesting, and it is a fresh and new idea. Yeah. Will I say that that's what's going on? I don't know. My immediate reaction was that they are in a time loop and this is their punishment. They're in hell, yada, yada, yada. But I actually do like that other theory, is the fact that they're just being watched.
I think that that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
But I think it would have needed to be conveyed differently. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a snow globe in the house and it's like, that's a weird snow globe. And I don't know, because it looked like, no, they're just in the snow globe.
Well, they got that representation of whole Krampus thing because they kind of came up again. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember the full details, but there was talk about how the grandmother didn't get punished the same way, because she went through the whole thing, and yet she's fine. So there was something different between the two. And yeah, so just the immediate they're in hell. Well, how did that happen? And the grandmother didn't get punished or whatever. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
But was the grandmother an asshole? I thought she wasn't.
I don't think she was an asshole. It was just the way that I can't remember exactly how she brought upon Krampus, but yeah. But yeah, I thought that was a interesting theory.
That's interesting.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, aside from that, what kind of Christmas movies or horror themed movies do you like?
Gremlins.
You like Gremlins?
That's it. I've only watched a few. Okay. I watched the Christmas Horror Story, the Canadian anthology. Mm-hmm. That was okay.
Yeah.
I think I would have preferred that Mr. Doherty did a Christmas anthology instead of the Krampus movie.
Okay.
I would have liked to have seen different short stories, but so instead Canada did it.
Something that I read about that movie that I completely forgot when I was watching it is the difference between this anthology and most other ones that we see is that they were all happening at the same time, but these stories were sort of going back and forth. It wasn't just one story beginning end and then start another one. They went back and forth, and so sometimes you would get to a certain point in one story and then they'd leave you hanging and go somewhere else to create more tension, I guess, suspense for when they come back to it.
Nah.
Well, it was just a different sort of format.
Yeah, they did that, so but it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, we're going to go down the hallway and cut to the other story, and it was like... It didn't create tension. It's like, it's not going to take them that long to go from this room to this room to find out that he's dead in the other room. It was just, I don't know.
It would have been nice if they were all connected, if they were going to kind of go back and forth with the stories, but...
I feel like in Trick or Treat, he did do that. I mean, he would focus primarily on one story, but he did go back and forth with, what's her name? With Anna Paquin's character, like checking in with her and then checking in with this weird character that's watching her, but it's like, oh, he's from the other story.
Yeah.
And we do see the neighbor and he's like, you're burying dead bodies. And it's like, so we get these little hints of things. So they almost did it where it's like, oh yeah, I babysat for this family. It's like, oh, okay, we're going to connect things. No, we're not. That's as much as we get.
Yeah.
So some of the stories were interesting, but it was just...
Yeah, Christmas Story is definitely hit or miss. And you ask anybody, they'll say that the Changeling and the Santa Claus story is pretty much the best out of the bunch, out of the four stories.
I mean, the Santa Claus story is just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But and I think I told you, I just saw the actor at the beginning, and I knew that was the same actor. So I was like, I thought he was just going to be Santa Claus outright, but he was like pissed off about something. I don't know. Thought it was going to be different. So I was like, oh, okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. The Changeling, that was awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
He like goes in the room and feels her up. I was like, that's gross.
What was the other one that you watched, you said?
I watched the short film The Box from the XX film.
Yes. So, good movie, by the way. I do like that anthology a lot. Some of it was a little bit too far-fetched on the whole meaning of things. There was a lot of unexplained stuff, but I loved its originality and all that good stuff, and The Box is the scariest one. Like, that was a lot of creepy imagery and just... from a family's perspective, just dealing with watching your family just die in front of your eyes and you can't do anything about it and you don't know why. There's no explanation. And maybe because I'm not a woman, I don't know the very big significance of that story because... And this one, she didn't care. That's the thing. I think we talked about this, is that usually the mom is the one who's more inclined to like believe their kids or do something or not let it just... She was just like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Get away with me with this stupid shit.
You know what? Right now, listening to you, you have given me the answer.
Okay.
Because it is a very like, oh God, what was in the box? And it's literally not about what was in the box.
Yeah,
now, obviously,
it wasn't.
Something fucked him up, and then he spread it to his sister and the father, and they died. And what you just said, it's like she's just watching her family die, and she doesn't know. It's like she can't do anything. I mean, I think that is the whole theme, because they say it in the movie where it's like, you know, buddy, or the doctor's like, there are people in the world who aren't eating, who don't have food. You should eat. And that's, I think, a big theme. It's like talking about world hunger, starvation. People are dying, and we can't do anything about it. But we could. There's this video I watched recently. It's not like a YouTube video, but this kid gets on... He looks like a kid. He's probably in his 20s. But he's like, hey, guys, wearing a Christmas hat. And he's like, I'm going to tell you about the origin of Christmas and how Christmas is a made-up holiday.
I didn't watch it, but I saw the... Yeah, I saw it on my feed, yeah.
And at the end, he's talking about... We spend, in the United States alone, we spend, I think he said, like, over $400 billion on Christmas presents. So, actually, if we took that money that we spend on gifts, we could end world hunger in a year. Merry Christmas. That's how he ended it. And it's like, that was sort of the idea behind it, where it's like, I can't help them. They're dying, and it's too late now. But it's like, yeah, it's too late now. They're dead, but you could have actually helped them. It's just you... We're so blind to it, you know. It's like you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
that was her. And it's interesting her being the mother, because it's like, you think about how you are a caring, giving person. I think that I'm a very caring, giving person, but I'm not ending world hunger.
Yeah.
I'm doing so much, but there's still that block that I have towards people that I don't know. If you're not Rob, then I don't know what you're doing outside this room, and I can't help you.
Yeah.
I don't even want to help you. It's like that disconnect. That movie was deep.
It was super deep.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really did.
And it was a really good story. I ended up watching a couple during the month. I didn't get to watch everything I wanted to watch. I'm not even going to get into what I didn't watch. But the ones that I did, I saw this 80s movie called Christmas Evil. It's one of the sort of, I guess, original... No, I shouldn't say original, but just one of those, like, movies that still are kind of considered a classic, or just a movie you think of when you think of, like, a Christmas horror theme movie.
Oh, that was the one you were watching the other day.
Yes, exactly. It's such a simple story, and it's messed up in a way. I don't know, something about the execution didn't really entertain me as well, but I get for the 80s on the appeal. So this kid is like so obsessed with Christmas. He just loves the holiday. It's his favorite time of the year. He's always so happy. And one year he decided to stay up to see if he can catch Santa, under the tree.
Oh boy.
He goes downstairs, and I don't know if I just missed something or whatever, and I couldn't tell, but he witnesses his mother being felt up by a guy in a Santa suit. I don't know if it was his father, her husband. I don't even know if there was a father in the picture. Maybe it was just some random dude and she was cheating on her husband, whatever. But he witnessed that whole thing, and from childhood, it fucked him up royally.
Okay, I've heard this synopsis.
So he grows up and he works in a toys factory, and people perceived him to be like a huge pushover because he's so into Christmas, and he's just comes off as this big kid and doesn't take things seriously, and sort of less of a man, some people would say. And he has this really like a strange relationship with his brother, and one year he just snapped and couldn't take it anymore, and he decided to put on a suit and take care of anybody he witnessed not giving that Christmas spirit or treating him like shit, basically. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot of things that led up to this. People at work were taking advantage of his kindness and all this stuff, and he just could not get justice. And one thing that I thought was super bold of this movie is that I think Mass was ending or something, and he was in front of a church, and he was just like, ho ho, Merry Christmas, and showed up in this Silence of the Lambs van, and just was like all in the suit and like ho ho, and then like there was these group of guys that were like making fun of him, and he pulled out of his Christmas bag and literally took one of them out in the head with tons of witnesses, didn't give two shits, and then ran in the van and drove. He just boned out. He didn't care. And that was just one of like a couple more, deaths that was happening. But he used this time to like get revenge. It was very personal. He went after folks that treated him like shit at work, basically. But he had a lot to deal with his family or whatever. And like the brother kind of came in at the end to kind of deal with this because he knows he has issues. The point is that, holidays aside, like childhood, man, like you have to be super careful what you do to your kids, because like they grow up and they're into society, and like they're adults, they can pretty much do whatever they want, and you just don't know when that day's gonna come. And it just sucked coming from a person who is genuinely a happy person, and he was just drove into insanity by people just taking advantage of that. And so I had to give it up for like the story or whatever. It's just, again, it was kind of the 80s. It was a little bit boring. I'm trying to show more appreciation for older titles, and that's why I watched it. And, so, but yeah, I don't know if you've heard of it. I would not recommend that to you, but, it's one of those movies that you think about when it comes around the holidays, So that and like Black Christmas,
I think It's just hard to do these ideas justice because you're either not going to take it seriously or it's just they're hard to do without it being a horror comedy. If it's a horror comedy, you can sell it. But I don't know. There's just something kind of hokey about all of them.
So that's really interesting, and that's why I wish I had seen. So I missed my opportunity. I just been so busy this month. I didn't watch Silent Night, Deadly Night. I heard that one's actually pretty damn good because of also sort of like the blood count, the kill count, and like the gore and everything that was in it. I heard that's pretty authentic. But then like. Yeah, like you said, they're mostly like horror comedies. One that took it to the extreme was Santa Slay. Have you seen that movie?
I've seen parts of it.
Oh my god, that movie is so cheesy.
Not supposed to be scary. There's a lot of people in that movie that I was so surprised.
Well, yeah, for the first kill scene, yes. I think people just went in just to have fun. Let's just get these roundup of people and just like take them all out.
The entire table.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, that was hilarious. But so here's the thing with Santa Slay. I actually really like the plot. So apparently the history in their world is that this angel came from the sky, saw Santa or a guy named Saint Nick or whatever, and he was, kind of dressed in the getup. He was bragging about how he's good at some game or something. I can't remember. And it was curling. That game where you like slide the little thing and then you have to like brush the track it's on so it makes it onto the scoreboard, like shuffleboard or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so the angel challenged him to a bet. And basically the angel said, if I win, you have to be good for 1,000 years. You're just gonna give joy to everyone and everybody because Saint Nick is generally like an asshole.
Isn't he like the son of the devil?
Yeah, something like that. So basically he lost the bet and he had to be good, which brought on the legend of, Santa Claus and all that stuff. And basically the movie takes place when the bet's off. So he served his time and now he's back on Earth and he just wants to kill. And I was like, this is actually kind of cool. I like that. And it gives a reason for Santa to just be an over the top, just a kill machine. And, it was played by wrestler Bill Goldberg or whatever. And he definitely was having fun with it. So I thought that was pretty clever, honestly. But the movie is horrible.
I mean, I just can't believe
the dialogue alone. But you know who's in it? God, I cannot remember. I think her name is Emily DeRevin or Levin, homegirl from Once Upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in it. And I can't remember his name at the moment. He's this really tall actor. He was on HBO's Big Love and The Bye Bye Man. He played lead on that. So they were like love interests in the movie or whatever. But yeah, I actually got through that. It was super cheesy, but I watched it.
So silly.
But yeah, you're right. There are a lot of like horror kind of comedies. Then there's like some that take place on Christmas, but don't necessarily have anything to do with it. Do you remember P2?
Oh, I really wanted to watch that.
You've never seen P2?
I was going to watch it the other night, but I ran out of time. So I know it's like Christmas Eve.
Yes.
So yeah, I remember reading the synopsis. I was like, oh, this is like, it has nothing to do with Christmas.
No,
it's
it just
like
takes
a
place
cat
on
and
it.
mouse movie. But
yeah.
So I was like, well, I still want to watch it just because. But
I think about it, and if you're a horror fan, I think it's just one of those movies you just should watch and then hate it afterwards. I don't know, because it's not that good. It really isn't. But I think some of the kills were pretty cool. But overall,
is it like it's like ATM?
That was the other movie I was going to bring up. It's like ATM.
Then I might not watch it because I've seen ATM. So it's like if it's like ATM. Then...
So what made you watch ATM?
Because I thought it was going to be scary, and it's like
from the trailer or the story or like what.
I saw very little about the trailer, but
I'm surprised
I saw enough
you were interested in something like this. I guess is what my question is.
I don't know. It just seemed like. I mean, I've liked other movies. Like it reminded me of the movie Buried.
Okay,
it's a small cast, but it's like
very confined, straight to the point.
Yeah,
I get it. I mean, that's why I watched
the elevator movie Devil.
Yeah,
it's like it reminded me of those things. So I thought, I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, they just made bad decisions.
Yes.
It was still scary and intense where it's like, oh, my God, there's this person outside. And...
The twist did not impress me much.
I didn't finish
Shania
it.
Twain did not.
Because it was just like, it's just...
It was sort of like a switcheroo, sort of like, haha, gotcha, and that was supposed to like bring me joy from watching this 90-minute movie, and it didn't. It's an interesting premise. Nobody's done it, so gotta give them points for that. But yeah, the movie didn't really pay off that much. But yeah, those are the two that I was gonna bring up. That kind of take place on Christmas, but had nothing to do with it. But there's a lot of other ones that I wanted to watch. I had like this big list of like all these Killer Santa movies that I wanted to watch, but I just didn't have time.
They're all the same, pretty much. I mean, it's either Santa or it's someone. It's mostly someone dressed up in a Santa suit killing people.
Yeah,
and yeah, they might change up their weapon of choice, but even I think so. Christmas Evil and Silent Night, Deadly Night, they both use an axe. That's the primary use. So the hot trash that I watched all through the house, their primary killing utensil is gardening shears. I will say I gave up 21 minutes of my life, and I realized this was going nowhere fast.
Honestly, I'm giving him praise for this because I've seen this movie, and I would not even have expected you to make 10 minutes with what I watched.
Tried.
Like, what the deuce was this movie?
Because the mask is creepy.
It is.
I was like,
very
this
creepy.
is a creepy
I was
design.
so excited for this,
and I was even kind of like, oh, okay, let's see how we're starting here. All right, I'm gonna keep going. And I was like, ooh, this acting is hurting my ears.
The acting. I don't I'm reading some of these reviews, and like most of it is on a good thing for like being unique. I don't know what they were watching.
So the director's name is Todd Nunez. Hey, Nunez.
Hey.
It's spelled different though. He's Portuguese, not Spanish.
Okay. Yeah.
The lead actress, her last name was like Ashley Mary Nunez. So either that's his sister or his wife.
Yeah.
Enough
so
said.
Apparently it's a family affair. Is going to turn out
so
like
then
shit.
I just felt like after that, he cast people he knows. These are all his friends, which that's a lot of fun. Great. Glad you made a movie. But
didn't this movie like win some like Indie Awards or some shit?
Know about that.
I'll have to look at it.
It was just like every character that was introduced, it was like, all right, they're dead. I think what I got from it was somebody was like, I know how to do special effects makeup. Let's have fun. And I think that's what they did.
Yeah.
Because, it was just like so much unnecessary blood for all of these kills. Like every single time. And like 2 penises chopped off in the first 20 minutes.
That was so crazy. And I guess that's probably why I kept watching it, because I'm like, what are they going to do next?
I mean, did it have some sort of significance with like, how Billy would like stab people in the eye?
That's the thing with garden shears. I mean, if you're going to snap, what's the best thing to do?
So does he
snap the penis?
Or does he or she continue snapping off penises throughout the movie? You blocked it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like don't even.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that should.
And then the whole suddenly like the next door neighbor, her daughter died and she had a skin condition and she had been molested and passed around by someone. It's like, what is going on with this side story? Yeah. And I barely care about the main character. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Like she has nothing going on. But yet this bitch has a whole plot to herself. I just could not believe how disappointing this was. I really was like, man, that picture that was in the article, I was like, man, that looks creepy. I'm gonna watch this.
I know. Yeah, I was ready. Well, a tradition of mine, I always watch my Tales from the Crypt episode. I cannot get enough of that remake, of that storyline. I just think it's the best, most random, coincidental thing I have ever seen. Like, it's just so much fun. It's like there's no rhyme or reason. It's just you pick the wrong day to take control of your life. And again, with the whole thing about telling your kids about Santa, it will be the death of you lying to your kids. That's all I'm saying. I just thought the twist, the justice, everything just fit within 22 minutes, and I just watch it every year. Yeah, I love it.
That's so funny because that's how the bad ones started. It's all through the house. I mean, the little boy lets him in. I'm like, man, these kids have no sense of, like, look at that person. Don't they look shifty. Isn't that a frightening image?
I mean, if you're gonna, they're obviously described. Santa is described as a very humane, good person. So obviously, a kid's gonna trust them. And when we raise our kids to be materialistic, obviously they don't want to hurt the person giving them toys. So
True.
They're gonna protect where they're getting their shit from.
God, they look scary.
I know
They look scary.
Yes, exactly. So,
like, you see the Santa Claus on Coca-Cola. He looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
You see this guy who looks like he just got done taking out the trash and rolled in it. No. I hope my children have some sort of sense of
that's how
stranger
it works.
danger.
Did you see Jack Frost?
No,
I know.
Where Shannon Elizabeth gets raped.
Even I can't even do that. I haven't even seen it, but I heard it's worth the laugh.
I mean, I think all the money. They said all the money was spent on his transformation sequence. Because you see parts of it where it's like there's a giant snowman raping Shannon Elizabeth in the bathtub, and it looks like a giant. Like if someone just took the Santa Claus out of their front yard.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Shannon Elizabeth,
she's
I
working.
give props to her.
She's making more money than me
for doing that.
Yeah,
because that's just terrible.
She's paying her dues. Somebody told her she has to pay her dues, and this is what she's got to do.
She really didn't, though.
I know.
She
poor
didn't.
Thing.
Women, you don't have to do that. Men too, but you usually don't get asked to do bullshit like that. But women, you do not have to take off your clothes if you don't want to, and you do not have to have sex with mutated snowmen. Well, she didn't have sex, she got raped. So you definitely don't need to be raped on film. It is not a good plot point. It's not useful. It's just weird. Let's move on.
So again, I'm still going to recommend Better Watch Out and Red Christmas to you. I think you should watch those.
So yeah, those are the ones I wanted to watch, and I was like, let me go old school and let me watch this weird rogue thing. Let me just... No. Mistakes.
And then did I tell you about Mercy Christmas? It's completely new. I don't even know if it's out yet. From my knowledge, it's on Prime. But this man who isn't necessarily on the attractive side, he is being flirted with by this beautiful woman, and they sort of have a connection, and she invites him to spend Christmas with her and her family, and he's just over the moon because it's just like, I don't get hit on, and I've got this woman so into me, like I'm gonna roll with this.
Sad.
So he goes over there and he meets the family. There's like, I think almost 9 or 10 of them around the table.
Oh god.
And long story short,
are they gonna eat him?
They're gonna eat him.
Oh fuck.
But so the movie is not just about him, though. Apparently, they've been gathering up a big feast. So there's more than one hostage, and they have to all band together to escape. So there is a fair fight that happens, and it's also a horror comedy. Yeah, but I watched the trailer. I thought it looked super interesting, and I think it'll be a good, entertaining laugh. Because the tables are turned, and not to say that they get the upper hand, but it's not an easy win, put it that way. So yeah, and I've heard good things about it as far as the reviews and stuff. So
oh, that's so sad.
If you come across the movie and decide to watch it, that's what it's about.
Mercy Christmas.
Mercy Christmas.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So anything else?
I don't think so. Yeah, because the other one was New Year's. So
oh, okay.
We'll talk about that
next week. We'll talk about that later.
The only other thing that came up for me was my memories of reading R.L. Stein's Super Chillers, Silent Night.
Yeah.
And he wrote 3 of them, Silent Night 2, and Silent Night 3.
Him and his sequels.
I don't remember how the other 2 went. I know I read them, but the first one, it starts out with this girl, I guess she's a bitch. And she's working in a department store over the holidays. And I just remember the beginning. I was like, whoa, he's kicking this shit off. She takes out her tube of lipstick and she puts on her lipstick, and all of a sudden she feels searing pain and blood is dripping down her mouth.
Jesus.
She looks at her lipstick and someone put a needle in it.
No, oh gross. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So this was in Goosebumps?
No, it was Fear Street.
Okay, Fear Street. Jesus.
Yeah. But I was like,
damn. So she didn't even look. Oh, and
so
she didn't feel anything.
Somebody hated her. I mean, she felt it after she. Somebody hated her. I think she wasn't an asshole by the end of the book, but I just don't remember like who was doing it, who was like fucking with her throughout the whole book, and then who came back for a sequel. I just don't know what happened.
No, crazy.
So it's like I have to read these books, but kids, you can catch Silent Night trilogy and read up on your R.L. Stein. It'll take you back to like 93, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But they were fun, good times.
Okay. So. All right, all right, we're going to close the show with another Bitch Really Christmas edition. I am going to reference Gremlins with this one. Just the sheer, like...
Which one?
Irresponsible Billy. He is just a dumb child. And first of all, you only had one job. You had one job. And the very first night you get this, you fuck it up. And here's the thing. He heard the rules, but did he know what was going to happen when it happened? This thing could have like blown up. You could have instantly killed it. That's like handing you a dog. Do not do this or the dog will fucking die. Like, no water.
Yeah.
And there was a half a glass of water literally next to him. Who does that? And the whole midnight thing, rhyme or reason, we don't know how all that works. I mean, we know what happened in the movie, but it's like, do we deal with time zones or all that shit?
That's true.
But like, come on, really? Like, can you not be any more responsible? And this is also hilarious. I read something that kind of talked about this, and it even goes back to probably how he was raised, because the way that Gizmo is even obtained is the dad steals him and then passes it off as a gift that I got for my kid. Like, clearly you're not given the right morals and rules in your home.
You just made that's so funny.
No, but I'm just serious. For a father who missed his birthday because he's out there unemployed, running around trying to invent shit.
Because that's what happens all the time. Like, white people want a bargain. He was like, no, I'll give you $20. He's like, not for sale. It's like, oh, there's always a price.
So, I mean, look, Billy ended up kind of being the hero that saves the day. He obviously took responsibility and made it his point to stop what was going on. But you had one job. And I don't know anybody who'd want to hurt cute little Gizmo, but you, like, come on. You fucked up royally. Like, that was just horrible. So, bitch, really, take care of your own shit. Stop being so it was just ridiculous.
Yeah. You're going to get your kids a Mogwai for Christmas.
Yeah.
Make sure that they follow the rules.
Didn't everybody want one? Like, I was so jealous. Like, how come this world does not have Mogwais?
So cute. Because no bitch would be able to take care of them.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of sort of the moral of the story. Like, even back then, it was talking about shit that's going on now. Y'all ain't ready to have nice things. You're just not ready.
You're just responsible enough.
You take something and you just take advantage of it. You use shit that you don't understand the wrong way, and you end up fucking your shit over. And yeah,
and having something that's cute, but then it's like it's deadly. We do that all the time, where we just sort of taint things. Something starts out as good, and then we just fuck it up.
Yeah,
we abuse it. We take things too far.
So Billy used a bitch.
Oh,
but I still love the movie.
We love Billy's mom.
I know oh yes, mom for days. Love her. Get out of my kitchen.
Oh God.
She took care of her shit. How many did she get? She just got the one,
like
right?
3.
She got 3 of them?
3.
Yeah.
Yes, she got 3 of them, and she would have got that other one, but he was in the tree.
Hey, Lina, she made it and walked out with a scratch. Pimp.
Right, well, happy holidays, guys. We're almost there. We only have a few days left before the end of the year, but fear not. We still have a few more tricks up our sleeves before the clock strikes midnight, and maybe one of us will turn into a gremlin. Not it.
Oh, damn it.
I'm already a gremlin.
Do you think it could have been a gremlin?
Sorry.
We hope you enjoyed the holiday special. Little extra treat for you guys, and we will see you in 2 more days.
2 days. Bye.
Bye.